This is probably the worst news for the Japanese people that I've heard in, well, at least a month, maybe 2 months, maybe even a year. The same person that has presided over the train wreck that is the Japanese automotive industry, is the same person that has just been re-elected by the board. Unfortunately, this man simply has too much power in Japan. And that train is about to run off those tracks and derail itself in a way that no one in Japan actually seems to be aware of. They voted this guy back in, and the disaster is just about to happen. Hello, my friends. Thank you for tuning in. My name's Sam Evans. I'm coming to you from Bangkok in Thailand. Great to see you. I say this with a somber tone because I do genuinely feel for the Japanese people. There will be an economic tsunami. There is a disaster unfolding right now. They don't even know it. Now, there has never ever been an economy or a country in history so reliant on the automotive industry as Japan is. Japan's economy has been in stagflation for a number of years. Their population isn't going up. Their GDP is stalling. And all of this is about to get a lot worse. Now, consider this fact. Japan, the country, has more debt per capita than any country in the world in history, and it's not even close. Consider this as well. Nissan's debt has been downgraded to junk. One of the biggest automakers in the country. Consider this. There are no automakers in Japan who have taken EVs even remotely seriously. None of them have. None of them are prepared for the transition. None of them are even taking it seriously now. Yes, I know they're telling you otherwise, giving a lip service, but the truth is they can't. They have too much debt. They are too addicted to the short-term profits of gasoline-powered vehicles. Now, the reality is there is an automotive group in Japan, and one man has presided over the Japanese automotive group for a long time now. That man is the grandson of the founder of Toyota. Now, he was the CEO of Toyota, and then he said he was stepping down to appoint his best buddy, his mate, who he would go to racing car shows with and go to races with. And then he made himself the president of Toyota Motor Corporation. So not only is he the president of the Toyota Motor Corporation, he's also the president of the Japanese automotive industry. In other words, what he says pretty much goes. He has quite a bit of power over the government and over other automakers in Japan. Remember this, put them all together, and they equal about Toyota's sales if you put them all together. Toyota has huge power in Japan. And unfortunately, the entire industry there does have a little bit of corruption. It's just the way it is. So now Toyota's former CEO, who is now the president, will stay on as the Japanese Auto Group chief after the board unanimously re-elected him to that post. Now remember, 0.2%. Remember that number, 0.2%. Akio Toyoda will remain chairman of the Japan Automobile Manufacturers Association after stepping down technically as Toyota Motor Corporation CEO. However, he then appointed himself as president, overlord, grand viceroy, chancellor, whatever you want to call it. The departing CEO agreed to extend his tenure following a unanimous vote in January by members of the association's executive board, JAMA vice chair and Isuzu Motors Limited president Masanori Katayama said on Thursday. Now remember, who owns Isuzu? Keep that in mind. JAMA collectively represents 5.5 million employees from 14 of the country's automobile manufacturers. Now keep in mind this, about 80% of the Japanese economy relies in some way on the automotive industry. For every one job, direct job in the automotive industry, another 10 people are employed. 5.5 million times 10, that's 55 million people. The industry is undergoing a once-in-a-century change as car manufacturers around the world aim or have to electrify their vehicles to counteract worsening climate change despite restrictive pandemic measures and ongoing component shortages, Toyota said at a briefing on Thursday. Now keep in mind, Toyota has been lobbying against EVs now for many years, and they haven't stopped. It's still going on. Akio voiced his intention in January to resign from his post in keeping with the rule that the chairman must be a sitting president of an automaker. Of course, then he made himself president. But he agreed to stay for another year. Toyota, grandson of Toyota's founder, will become chairman of the automaker, and incoming Toyota CEO Koji Sato was made a JAMA, Japanese Automotive Industry, vice chair. Half of the chair, half of the board are Toyota employees. Sato unveiled several changes to Toyota's senior management last month as he prepares to take over, seeking to improve the carmaker's strategy and messaging in the shift to an electric future. But he also said that Toyota themselves will focus heavily on hydrogen-powered vehicles. They still believe that they will be the future of the automotive industry, and, well, you can see why. We all know why. When he was first appointed chair in 2012, Akio promised to protect Japan's automotive industry and its reputation as a world leader. The reality is its reputation is in some ways in tatters. 0.2%. That is the percentage of Toyota's vehicles that are actually electric, that are sold right now globally. Toyota themselves hasn't even built a dedicated electric vehicle platform. They haven't even started building one or started designing one. They only decided a few weeks ago that it was actually a good idea after tearing down Tesla Model Y, and then when Toyota's engineers said it was a work of art, a masterpiece, and realized just how far ahead companies like Tesla are, that they realized that was what they had to do. My feelings haven't changed, said Akio, who began his second term in 2018. With the additional year I've been given, I will continue those efforts. Efforts towards what exactly? Hydrogen? Well, Japanese automotive industry are pretty set on hydrogen as being the future. Or gas, or whatever will continue with the status quo. For example, Toyota has been working heavily with Yamaha and other manufacturers on a hydrogen combustion engine. In fact, they had one in a race car and it just exploded. Unfortunately, appointing this guy for another term as CEO of the Japanese automotive industry does nothing other than give me the strong feeling that the Japanese people, the country, the economy, and its automakers will pay a very heavy price. But I could be wrong. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. And thank you for watching.